the consistency of our bearing fruits is quite visible. I've been plucking papayas right from the ground level because the first papayas were touching the ground here. So I've been able to harvest the papayas consistently throughout the period of time. And you can see the papaya is still carrying heavy papayas up there. This tree is now 2.5 years old.
Today we are in a village called Ahit-Doba in Mwea, Kirinyaga County. We are visiting a farmer who is taking advantage of a hidden resource, the groundwater, to irrigate on his orchard of pawpaw and other fruits.
My name is Julius Jine. The zone here is Ahit-Doba, is in Kirinyaga County and in Mwea constituency. And we do fruit growing under our brand name, which is Del Africana growers. Del Africana growers, we majorly deal in fruit and fruit trees. Basically, we try to minimize on our use of synthetic methods. Therefore, we engage in methods that are more organic. That's why when you get to our farms, you realize that we're doing most of farmyard manure and organic method of pest control. These are papaya variety we refer to as Vega. Vega F1 is a great variety when it comes to yielding. As you can see, the tree is able to grow to a quite tall tree. As you can see, it is light above my head. I've been plucking papayas right from the ground level because the first papayas were touching the ground here. So I've been able to harvest the papayas consistently throughout the period of time. And you can see the papaya is still carrying heavy papayas up there. This tree is now 2.5 years old. It's giving us hope that we shall be able to move to the third and perhaps the fourth year with a reasonable number of fruits. Yeah, the consistency of flowering is quite even, an attribute that we give to the consistency of the mulch. On this farm, we're sourcing our water from underground. We're doing a shallow well that are manually dug. Because our borehole is shallow, it yields for us like 10,000 liters every day. So we learned that for us to engage in fruit farming, a skill that is reasonable enough, we have to do maximum utilization. For that case now, we adopted the drip irrigation method. We did couple our drip irrigation method with mulching, as you can see, all in a bid to conserve water and bring maximum utilization of the underground water for best result. So yeah, the soil quite moist. Yeah, farmyard manure. As you can see, the root hairs are coming up. The root hairs are coming up for papayas, so they're able to feed on the farmyard manure that is deposited around the trunk. That's one advantage. It's also able to conserve water. This soil is quite moist because of the manure. As a result, we are able to conserve enough water.
Then the drips.
This is our drip emitter. As you can see, these are our emitters. So when these emitters spread the water around this place, the mulch is able to conserve that water, giving us a steady supply of moisture for our papayas. As a result, you can see how many fruits our papaya tree is able to hold or to support because of the water conservation system. For example, in this block, we shall be able to tell the difference between an area where mulching is put in place and an area where mulching is not put in place. For example, you can see the papayas allowed here. The consistency of our bearing fruits is quite visible compared to now the other block where mulching is yet to be put in place. You can tell the number of fruits diminishes.
So why are you not intercropping with any other crop in this pawpaw orchard?
On this pawpaw orchard, we do not intercrop with anything because of the spacing that we've adopted. we've adopted a spacing of 2 by 2 meters. As a result, there is lesser space that is left out. So for that purpose, we do not intercrop. However, if a farmer wants to intercrop with papayas, it is possible. You only do now a bigger spacing, like 2 meters by 3 meters, 2 meters by 4 meters. By so doing, in between, you can intercrop with seasonal crops.
For how long does it take for it to start flowering?
For papayas to start flowering, it takes around 45 days for the hybrid. You start seeing signs of flowers. By the third month, you find your papayas with small size of fruits. From there, those fruits will take some other 5 months to begin now ripening. Yeah. So basically, the period of papaya from transplanting to harvest is between 7 and 8 months.
So what kind of fertilizer do you use here?
Normally here we do more of a farmyard manure than fertilizers. When papayas are beginning to get harvested like these ones, as you harvest your papayas, it's normally very advisable. Use more farmyard manure than fertilizer. It's able now to give you your roots, a good environment that now sustains the production of your papaya farm.
How often do you harvest the pawpaws?
Pawpaws are normally harvested every once per week, after every 7 days. Yeah, the buyers come in. A specific buyer who buys from that block, who is giving us better prices, comes on a specific day of the week, every once per week.
And for how long can one tree sustain before it gets old?
Basically, for other farms that are older than this one, we've been able to tell that a papaya field will last for around 3 to 4 years. Giving you maximum yield between the first and the second year, and the yield begin diminishing in the third and the fourth year.
So where do you take the papaya?
Our papayas are normally fetched from the farm by the brokers.
Yes.
At a weekly basis. Every weekend they come allowed, they fetch all the produce and take it to the market. Like this being 1 acre block, the maximum we've ever had as a harvest on a weekly basis was 2.1 ton. The least we've had was 700 kgs. That is on a weekly basis.
So how much does that fetch?
So for a farm like this one, with adopting the right methods and the right routines in your farm, like we said on water conservation, you are able to maintain a steady bearing of your papayas. As a result, you're able to get a steady harvest. As we said, between 2.1 and 700 kgs. On average, you get 1.3 ton per week on a papaya farm. For at least 2 years, you're able to harvest at least 1.3 ton on average.
Every week?
Every week. That gives you now returns of around 50,000 every week. You're able to sustain that for around 2 years. In the third year now, your production will begin to diminish. You'll find yourself getting an average of like 750, 800 kgs, an average on weekly basis. An indication that now your income is going down to around 28,000 to 30,000 every week for the third year. Huyu amezaa mkubwa vizuri. On this specific block, being a 1 acre farm, we've done papayas 80% of the farm. We've done a few grapes. We've also done a few apples. These are the few grapes that we put in place on this block. We basically did this as our trial to determine how the environment would favor the grapes allowed here. True to the word, the environment has proven good because as you can see, within 8 months of transplanting these grapes, they've begun to give us flowers. As you can see, this is a bunch. This is a bunch that is coming up here. You can see there's another one that is coming up here. There's another one that is coming up here. There are so many. Another one here, another one over here, another one over here. There are quite many. Others are here, others are here. So an indication that the environment allowed here has now favored grape production. After doing away with the papayas at the third or the fourth year, you might find us now doing some grapes in this block. As you can see, there are fruits. So no. These are a block of apples that we did trials on this farm because we're thinking of after papayas are out of the farm, we are thinking of doing crop rotation. So we are weighing between doing the grapes and the apples. So we did a trial on both of them to find which one would be favored by the environment. So all these apples are 8 months old together with the grapes, and as you can see, the apples have begun to bear fruits. On close-up observation, they've begun to bear fruits already, and the flowers are forming the fruits quite successfully. Let's now see our block for plantains.
So this is not banana?
No, this is not the normal banana that you know for ripening. This is a plantain. A plantain is normally adopted for health benefits. Yeah, this is what we call plantains. Plantains can do quite well when supplied with enough farmyard manure that we do fetch now from the cattle unit. There's a difference between plantain and other bananas. As you can see, plantain has a very few bunches, but quite long and a huge fruit. This is one that is almost about to mature. So we're hoping in the next two months we shall be able to harvest this in readiness for the market.
Do plantains need special care?
Plantains do not need
More than banana?
special care from other bananas. The only thing they need is quite enough manure, farmyard manure. So whenever you have a dairy unit and you have your plantain, you're able to sustain them with manure from your dairy unit, like we're doing here.
Okay.
This is salary from our cattle up there.
From a dairy unit?
From a dairy unit in there. And so whenever we clean up the blocks for the dairy unit, we normally release now the waste as a slurry. This slurry is later pumped into the farm.
The real thing. This is a rare crop in this country. Where do you sell the plantain?
Plantains are a rare crop indeed, as you mentioned, and it is an advantage for us here because buyers normally stream in. Like our plantains here, we do 100 per kilo at the farm gate. And I can attest that our buyers are quite many. So regarding pest control, this is part of our organic mode of basically in these farms we do control pest by two methods, organic methods and the synthetic methods. For organic methods, you'll find in some cases we use we intercrop with herbal vegetations that normally control basically the nematode. This is part of our organic mode of controlling pest using the Mexican marigold. Is one of the herbs that repel pests in a farm. When intercropped in a farm, they're able also to control the nematodes. Alongside, we do fetch the synthetic pesticides from the agrovetes against various pests, for example, red spider mite, and also against diseases like the powdery mildew that comes in when the temperatures are quite low. Fruit flies are a category of pests that will pierce either your flowers or your small fruits and cause deformation and fruit fall. Here we have a trap from one of the companies that deal in organic, basically the Kenya Biologics. They do give us a trap that help us to control the fruit flies. As you can see, this block is able to lure the pests to this trap and also are able to kill them, therefore controlling the fruit flies in the farm and helping now our fruits to form well and to avoid the fruit and flower abortion.
Until next time, I'm your host, Isaiah Esipiso. Goodbye.